In 2005, Siyayinqoba did a story on Sifiso Zulu and the lack of access to ARVs at Durban's Westville prison. Shortly after our story was broadcast, Sifiso and a few other inmates went on a hunger strike as a form of protest for access to ARVs.
Njengomuntu ophila leligciwane, inhliziyo yami ibuhlungu kakhulu. Njengoba ngiyabuka nama TV ngiyadlalela nasendabeni. Ngiyazwa OTAC beyipromote bathi ngampela ama-ARVs anegalelo elikhulu ekuphiliseni impilo noma ekuphephiseni impilo zabantu abaphila leligciwane. So inhliziyo yami ngajabula kakhulu uma nalanga phakathi ekhaya noma kulomuzi lo okhona waseWestville nalohlelo ama-ARVs lungaqalisa khona.
A hunger strike by 119 HIV-positive inmates at Durban's Westville prison has been called off after the intervention by the Correctional Services Department. The prisoners who stopped eating on Monday claimed not to have access to antiretroviral treatment. A team has been established to help resolve issues that may have led to the hunger strike. About 200 women prisoners alone at the Westville prison are HIV positive. More than 50 others have died of AIDS-related illnesses in the past year.
According to our information, there was no hunger strike at Durban Westville. Unfortunately, there was a group of inmates that had taken the Department of Correctional Services as well as the Department of Health to court, claiming that we denied them access to antiretroviral treatment. And I must also say that is incorrect because at the moment we refer inmates who are HIV positive, who we know who are HIV positive, to the relevant Department of Health, not Department of Health or health facility, because as correctional services we are not a healthcare facility.
We heard that prisoners who qualify for antiretroviral treatment and were not accessing the treatment that they need to keep them alive. So it really was about compelling the prison authorities to take all reasonable steps to ensure that these prisoners are put onto treatment.
We provide basic primary health care, but in terms of the administration of antiretrovirals and pre-programs that needs to go with that, we refer our inmates to the Department of Health or to health facilities outside. We are, however, in the process of having some of our centers accredited as sites that we can administer from. And with that goes a whole training program of our staff that we'll embark on. And just coincidentally, Durban Westville is one of the sites that we're working on to get accreditation for.
If we were to accredit a prison, it would depend on, they would need to qualify according to what we have outlined as the requirements for accreditation.
That the respondents be and are hereby ordered with immediate effect to provide antiretroviral treatment in accordance with the aforesaid operational plan to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 15th applicants and all other similarly situated prisoners at Westville Correctional Centre at an accredited public health facility. 3.
There are three things that have to happen. The first is that correctional services have to remove all the barriers that are in the way of prisoners getting access to treatment at Westville. One of the barriers has been the issue of the requirement of an ID document. The second is to place prisoners who qualify for ARV treatment on ARV treatment immediately. The third part of the judgment then is for the state on or before the 7th of July on oath in an affidavit to set out what steps it is taking to comply with the second part of the order, putting people on treatment.
As the Department of Correctional Services, we would respect the judgment of any court of law. The basis of our appeal summarized is that we don't believe that a court of law has the right to prescribe medical health care. That belongs solely with a medical official. And that's the basis of our appeal, or one of the points of our appeal.
In July 2006, the Department of Correctional Services released Sifiso Zulu from Westville Prison on what they termed early parole.
Ngandaba lama ARVs la into eyenzekile i-department engifuna ukuveza nje ukuthi bakhombisile ukuthi abanasihe ungathi abazele laba futhi abalapha ama-authorities e-Department of Correctional Services ngoba iy'boshwa zifa phambi kwabo sifa phambi kwabo sigula kodwa still bayazi ukuthi i-operational plan leya i-comprehensive operational plan leya HIV and AIDS policy isisho ukuthi as-assesswe noma si-refer kuma-accredited site kodwa bona abakwenzanga lokho until baze basukuma ngoba icala seliyofakwa enkantolo.